Hello, friends. I'm back. I had to take 2 days away. I just don't have enough to say to make a video every day. I'm showing you this teddy bear because, along with the books I'm going to talk about, I'm showing you this teddy bear because I found him in a store amongst like 4 or 5 of his brothers, and his face was all smushed. And I couldn't leave him. I bought the other guys to give away as Christmas presents to little children local to me here. And then I've got this smush face guy because I couldn't leave him behind. And he's still so cute, but his face is getting better, but it was really smushed. Couldn't leave him. So I'm going to have him hold my microphone because that seems like a good idea for this video. So welcome back, my friends. I'm still in the middle of my new moon to new moon challenge, but yeah, on Saturday I was like, what will I make a video about? And I tried to make one last night, and it's me pushing, just so I can make a video a day. Nah. So we're just gonna let this evolve a little bit, and it's still my new moon to new moon challenge. I'll still make videos a lot more often, and maybe even still every day, but there's gonna be gaps because I just honestly like there's just not enough for me to talk about, or whatever. I was forcing it. So, but I do have 2 books to tell you about this evening. It's Monday, October 27th, and it's at 9:15 at night. So I'm still on my late night kick with these videos. But so I specifically went to my little community free lending library today to see if I could find Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, because I got invited a few days ago to join a book club, a local book club, and I got an email today with information about their upcoming meetups and the books they'll be reading. And this is next up, Demon Copperhead. And I have until November 19th to read it, which shouldn't be, well, it is a big book, so I will have to definitely push. I might have to stop reading all my other stuff. Um, but I'm also going to see my family for like 5 of those days. And I'm not gonna like want to like sit around and read when I'm with my family who I never see. So I don't know. I'm gonna really have to push to get this finished because it's like 540 pages, I think. But this, okay, so here's the funny part is that I don't read the end, Holly. Oh, I can't see. 548. So the funny thing is, I was downtown a couple days ago and I saw this in a discount shop, and it's brand new. I mean, I don't think anyone other than me has ever opened it. And then I was like, oh, Holly, it's a big book and you might not read it, and stop buying every book you see. And I left it. And then 2 days later, I got invited to this book club, and I find out that this is the next book they're reading. So I rushed back down, hoping, fingers crossed, that it would still be there. And it was. So I picked it up. I don't really know that much about this story. Of course, I've heard a lot about her books in general. I even think I have at least one other book that somebody gave me of hers. Like I know about the Poisonwood Bible, but I haven't ever read her stuff, and I don't know the premise of this other than today my friend told me it has something to do, I think, with addiction. So I am not going to read the blurb on this. I'm just going to dive into this as soon as I finish making this video and try to start getting this completed for that November 19th book club. My first one, so I got to read the book for it. Okay, so that was my cool thing, and it also made me feel like I was really meant to join this book club, like that I had just seen this book, it was in my consciousness, and that I was able to go back and find it. And this other book that's been here waiting for me to talk about it off to the side, I found when I went to our free little library, or I don't know, it's not really like one of those little free libraries. It's a room, and it's got, donated books. And so I went looking for that, and I came away with this. And I didn't find Demon Copperhead at our lending library. I then went and looked for it in that shop I had seen it in. And anyway, but I did find this one while I was there. And there's a lot of really great books in my little lending library here in my community. So I need to get in there more often, especially in lieu of buying them online. So this is Girl at War, and it's by Sara. I'm imagining this is pronounced Nović, but I don't really know. So there's the author's name. I haven't read the blurb yet, or I don't think, but I think I read the back. I don't know, maybe I read the blurb. We're going to read it together in a moment. An unforgettable portrait of how war forever changes the life of the individual. Girl at War is a remarkable debut by a writer working with deep reserves of talent, heart, and mind. Okay, so obviously there's going to be other glowing reports there. Let's read at least some of this blurb. A harrowing, unforgettable novel. Okay, let's stop reading those. Let's read this. Part coming of age tale, part war saga, part story of love and memory. Girl at War is a debut novel at once haunting and hopeful, written with the power of truth. It establishes Sara Nović as a stunning new literary voice. Zagreb, 1991. Ana Juric is a carefree 10-year-old living with her family in a small apartment in Croatia's capital, but that year civil war breaks out across Yugoslavia, splintering Anna's idyllic childhood. Daily life is altered by food rations and air raid drills, and soccer matches are replaced by sniper fire. Neighbors grow suspicious of one another, and Anna's sense of safety starts to fray. When the war arrives at her doorstep, Anna must find her way in a dangerous world. So, this is a much more current war story, you know, girl living her normal life in wartime. I've read a couple of these this year. I think this will be like the third one, but the others have all been in the past. And of course, this is in the past too, but it's a much more recent past. So I don't know. It might be a little bit heavy for me. It might be a little bit challenging, especially in the current climate, but it called to me enough that I brought it home. And I'm getting really good about taking the books back there that I don't end up reading right away because I know then they're just going to sit. And that's not fair since they came from a lending library that's meant to serve my whole community. So anyway, we'll see if I get to Girl at War. If that looks interesting to any of you and or if you've read it, let me know. Um, and if I end up reading it, I will definitely tell you. But yeah, I am joining a book club. I'm pretty excited. I've only ever been to one other book club in my entire life. I think I was about 25 the last time I joined a book club. I only made it for one of the meetings before I decided it wasn't for me. I think it was a bit of a commute for me to get to. They all lived in an area about an hour away from me, and that seemed really far to travel for a book club. What else do I remember about that experience? The book that we read, I really enjoyed, and I can't remember the name. The Girl in Hyacinth Blue. Does that sound familiar? Something like that. I enjoyed that story. I was glad to have read it, but it kind of seemed like it devolved into like women sitting around drinking wine and talking about their issues, and that might have been fun if they were like my friends, but they were all new to me, and it felt way too weird and intimate for how little I knew the folks. They were all nice enough. But anyway, that was my last and only experience with being in a book club. And I know quite a few of the women in this book club. So we'll see how it goes. I already told them I probably won't make everyone, but I'm going to do my best to make it to this first one. I'm going to read Barbara Kingsolver. I'm going to keep Mr. Bear by my side while I do that. Look how sweet that little face is. Maybe he will end up going to the kids I buy Christmas presents for. I mean, who wouldn't love that face? But in the meantime, I'm going to keep him close and he can hold on to my microphone while I make these videos because they all seem to be made from my bed late at night after 9. All right, new moon to new moon challenge. What would this be? I think this might be day 7. It continues, my friends. I'll see you for the next one. My name's Holly. If you're new, yep, I guess this is what my channel has become. If this sounds interesting, please subscribe. And those of you who are returning, hi. See you next time. Bye, everybody.